Hey, this is Dr. Christensen. I am a elite performance coach, physical therapist, and the owner of Healing Arts Wellness. And thanks for tuning into this video, checking out my emails. I really appreciate it. So in this video, I want to show you guys how to improve your squat form. Now, not necessarily being able to squat in the gym and using heavy weights on a dumb or a barbell, for instance, but just how to squat properly so you can go out, work in your yard without having back issues, be able to, bend over and pick something up like a pot or some kind of like a box or something and around the house, be able to play with your grandkids or your kids, however age you are, just things like that, being able to bend over, pick something up, use your legs better, keep your back better positioned. It's so important. That way you can stay pain-free and continue to do the activities that you love to do. So these are a few great tactics that I love to show my clients and my patients how to do so they learn how to squat properly, learn good body mechanics, and so they continue to stay fit, active, and pain-free. So I hope you enjoy. So this exercise will help you learn how to use muscles in your hips that oftentimes don't get used. So the outward hip rotators, the hip abductors, muscles like that. So as you squat down, you're using this band that will provide an inward force. So you're always having to rotate your legs out, keeping the knees straight. So you're always engaging the hip muscles. So looking out from the side here, going down, rotating the hips out, and trying to maintain that position at the bottom for a few seconds, and then back up. Now you can either hold at the bottom or just go up and down, slow and controlled, while using the band. So the band's going to try to do this to your knees. But we don't want that. That's going to strain the knees, it's going to strain the hips, put a lot of undue stress up into the lower back too. So just work on knee pointed straight, feet pointed straight while you use the band. So in order to squat down properly, you have to have the proper mobility or movement in your ankle, knee, and hip. So this one will get that movement that you need in order to squat properly. So as you squat, we need a hinge at our hips. We need a hinge at the ankles. If that doesn't occur, then there's going to be compensation that takes place, and therefore pain can start later down the road as you continue to squat, especially as you add weight. So what you want to do is get into this position right here and just kind of work on leaning into the foot like this. You want to make sure that the heel stays planted on the floor. Don't let it come up. That way you get that nice hinge right there in the ankle, and at the same time it's working on bend of your knee and bend of your hip. So looking at it from the front view here, you're going like this. Make sure the foot doesn't turn out and the knee doesn't crash in. Very important to keep the foot straight and the knee right over the foot going forward. And you want to do that on both legs, of course. So you can get what's called a sports cord. This one specifically is a pull-up assist cord, but there's so many neat things you can do with the sports cord. And one that I've recently started to experiment with is using it to improve my squat and also my clients' and patients' ability to squat, and start initiating it with the hips versus the knees. And that way they can really start to get a little bit more glute control and also proper form and mechanics, so they do it properly. Because a lot of times when the person first starts to squat, they start to tuck the hips in like this, and they let the knees go forward. What you want is you want to stick the butt back first, hinge at the hips, and then go from there. So what you can do is put the sports cord around something like that, and then put it around your bottom there, and then from there, just kind of work on sticking the butt back so they're starting to get tension on the sports cord. Okay, so that's the first thing you want to do. Just stick the butt back, get some tension on the sports cord, and as you squat down, keep the tension on the sports cord nice and tight there. Okay, if you want it a little bit more difficult, just walk back further, get some more tension on the cord. So if you do it wrong, you're going to lose the tension on the cord. Stick the butt back and squat. There you go. You can try to do holds at the bottom, do repetitions, 8 to 10, 10 to 15, something around that range. And as you get stronger, then you can just step away from doing this and just practice traditional squats. And then just learning how to squat by doing what's called a sit to stand exercise. So all you're doing is you're trying to sit back so your butt touches the bench and then come back up. There. So you really can't squat improperly doing it this way. If you squat improperly, you're going to miss the bench or get at least close to falling on the floor. So what you want to do, stick the butt back first, touch the bench, back up. All the while, trying to keep the back up straight, shoulders back, head up straight, and just do several repetitions. 8 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20. You just want to start to feel it really good in the quad muscles and into your glutes. All the while you're bracing your back muscles and tightening your stomach muscles. Okay? Just up and down. There, making sure that you're also not, when you doing it, not crashing the knees here. That you're keeping the feet straight, the knees are straight, and just going up and down with that good form. And if you learn that good form, and you demonstrate it consistently, you really master the squat and you won't have any issues with it later on.